Good morning, grade 3. A warm welcome to today's social studies lesson. This week we're going to begin reading lesson 3, Being a Good Citizen. And please do not forget to pause this video and read along with me as I read. So grade 3, today's learning objectives are: first, you'll be able to describe characteristics of a good citizen. Then you'll be able to identify some very famous people in the history that have proven to be great citizens. And at the end, you're going to identify everyday heroes in a community. So let's begin reading. Great. What does it take to be a good citizen? Good citizens take action. They cooperate or work together for the good of the community. They try to make the community a better place for everyone. So here the word cooperate basically means to work together. What is a good citizen? Good citizens follow the laws of the nation, the state, and the community. They speak out against laws that they think are unfair. They pay taxes and take part in the government by voting. Good citizens also show respect for themselves and for the people around them. So here is a very short, precise definition of good citizens and all the good things they do. Great, let's go ahead. Being good citizens. Now there are some pictures over here, and you can see a drawing right there. Students in Kentucky made these posters to support Kentucky's Adopt a Highway program. We're going to go through this in just a short while. Let's read this page. So, being good citizens. Students are being good citizens when they show respect for the classmates and teachers. They follow rules, do their best work, and take part in class activities. Good citizens often show helpful character traits. Now let's see what a character trait is. A character trait is a quality that a person has, such as responsibility, trustworthiness, respect, fairness, patriotism, and caring. Helpful character traits usually make good citizenship traits too. Some citizens become leaders and bring big changes to people's lives. Others work with their neighbors to solve problems. They show a belief in justice or fairness for everyone. So, after reading all of this, you should be able to understand how students can be good citizens and what are the character traits that make a person a good citizen, and how these good citizens develop into leaders of the future, right? Let's go ahead and read more. On this page, we're going to look at Jimmy Carter and Rosalind, his wife, help build homes for Habitat for Humanity. And you can see that they're building homes. This is some volunteering work that Jimmy Carter and his wife did. Great, so let's have a closer look and read about them. Jimmy Carter. Jimmy Carter was one president of the United States. Now he works for peace in countries around the world. He helps nations that disagree solve their problems peacefully. In 2002, Carter was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize for his work. Carter also volunteers for Habitat for Humanity. This is a group that builds homes for people who cannot pay for them. Volunteers like Jimmy Carter give their time and effort for free. They feel a responsibility to help other people. And on the slide, you can see Jimmy Carter receiving his Nobel Prize in 2002. So that's the glorious Nobel Peace Prize that's given to people who do some outstanding work in the world. Here we're going to read about Rosa Parks. You can see her picture with the caption that states, "Rosa Parks worked for justice." Let's begin reading. Rosa Parks wanted to change laws that were unfair to African Americans. In some places in the 1950s, African Americans had to sit in the back of public buses. They could sit in the middle only if the seats were needed for white people. Now, before I go ahead, let me just give you some reference to history here. These were the days when civil rights movement was about to begin, and Martin Luther King Jr., the American minister, was very active trying to fight against the injustice that prevailed against African Americans back in those days. Great, let's read the second paragraph. In 1955, Parks was sitting in a middle seat of a bus in Montgomery, Alabama. When the bus filled up, Parks refused to give up her seat. The driver called the police and she was arrested. Parks and other African Americans in Montgomery had been planning a bus boycott. Now here, I want you to focus on the definition of a boycott. You should be able to define it. So what's meant by boycott? During a boycott, people refused to buy or use something. After Parks was arrested, many people refused to ride the bus. Their boycott caused the bus company to lose money. After almost a year, the law was changed. So, boycott is a peaceful demonstration to fight injustice. Now, if I ask you the question and I ask you to summarize how did Rosa Parks help her community, you should be able to answer it using this information that you've read on this page. Let's read about Dolores Huerta. As a teacher, Dolores Huerta saw her students come to school hungry and poorly dressed. She decided to help them by helping their parents. The parents were mostly farm workers from Mexico and other countries. The families traveled all over the United States to find work picking fruits and vegetables. Because many of the farm workers were not United States citizens, they did not have many rights. Huerta started classes to teach the workers how to become citizens and how to vote. Later, she helped them earn more money so they could buy the food and clothing they needed. So this was about Dolores Huerta. And again, if I ask you to summarize, how did Dolores Huerta help farmers, farm workers, and their children? You should be able to summarize all this information in your own words. On this page, we're going to read about everyday heroes. Many people in the community show that they care about being everyday heroes. A hero is a person who does something important and sets an example for others. Some everyday heroes in our community may be parents, firefighters, police officers, teachers, and volunteers. Great, and let's read the first fact about Ryan Reljik. Ryan Reljik learned at the age of 6 that some people did not have clean water. That year, Ryan raised $70 to build a well in Africa. He kept working and has now raised more than $1 million. Ryan is shown here with his adopted brother, Jimmy. So you can see how people turn into everyday heroes, and you can turn into one as well. I want you to read the summary of this lesson. Let's read it together. Good citizens are responsible, caring, and fair. They work to help people in their community. They may be community leaders or act as everyday heroes. All right, grade 3. So I want you to wrap up this lesson by writing down how you can be a responsible citizen. You can reflect on this lesson and post your answer in e-discussions. Best of luck, grade 3.